They take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 44.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
So third down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. Now Tua. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want their body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And he is going to lose yardage here. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at 3rd and 10.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef, they don't run the football. But that means if you want to run it inside, if you get strung out on the perimeter, you're big.
We saw the result. Yardage. Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long. Here's Tua. That's going to be caught by Waddle. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
So 4th down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit. From the left hash, this from 37. The kick by Sanders is good. And the opening drive for the Dolphins yields 3. Weather like this, always treacherous for kickers. A good sign early, though, as he's able to put that one through.
And you remember him right before the kick stomping around his area to make sure that things were going to hold for his plant foot, and it did.
Out of the end zone comes Smith. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Mayfield and the Panthers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 16. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That would almost intercept it, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. To throw again on 2nd down, Mayfield. That is caught by Anderson. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
The timing was absolutely true as he caught it working across the field. Plenty of space for him to roam. But notice how he keeps his head on a swivel looking for defenders who may crop up out of nowhere. That turned into a big play.
Real. Run.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And a nice little start as he's able to get this up to the 28. A first down throw for Mayfield. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Anderson. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
Second quarter now from Charlotte, and it's the Panthers with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. A handoff left, McCaffrey, and he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Jalen Phillips, the edge man on the tackle.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Throwing on second down, Mayfield. He'll get this underneath to McCaffrey. And they're going to be set up now with a ball at the 13-yard line.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get it out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Here's Mayfield. That's caught. It's McCaffrey again. And, oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. Here we go with McCaffrey. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert it. Just enough push up front. He only needed 6 inches. He didn't get a whole lot more than that.
No, but he made sure he got enough so they didn't have to worry about measuring it or making it even close. Ends up picking up a couple of yards in a situation, as you noted, where he only needed inches.
Mayfield. Touchdown, Panthers. Ian Thomas from 6 yards away. And the Panthers have taken the lead.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed, way harder to cover than before.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles. He rifles one that's intercepted. Jeremy Chinn picks it off. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
Following the interception, Mayfield. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into a bigger points. Their thinking is a touchdown is really what they should get from starting here. Getting 3 points at the end of this drive, that would feel disappointing.
And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
On third down, touchdown, Mayfield. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing fourth down.
The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And he elects not to bring this one out as his guys will take over at the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Lost 4 there. It's 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half. And I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. The loss results there.
Here we go, set.
Looking to pass. Tua. And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down.
52. Right, 97.
Tua on 4th down. And he fires one that's intercepted. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
Probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
Well, he thought about coming out, but instead he does go down to a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Play action, now it's Tua. He's going to go for a big play downfield, and that is incomplete.
Love the idea, love the concept, but you got to leave a little room on the sideline so he can fade into it when he makes the catch. That was thrown too close to it for the receiver to make a play.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Only dropping for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
What we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Tua, a final shot before half. He'll look to Gesicki on the out route. Ball is caught. And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down.
He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
To throw again on 2nd down, Mayfield.
Another grab here for the dynamic Christian McCaffrey.
19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time, they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They run with McCaffrey off the option.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mayfield. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And the Dolphins are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, the good news for them, they got the football. The bad news, they have to go 99 yards here as they start this drive out on their own 1-yard line. After the turnover, it's Tua. And incomplete on the deep ball.
We know he has a lot of confidence in his arm and likes to force it downfield, but the coverage was tight there. Fortunate it wasn't picked off.
2nd and 10 now, third quarter from Charlotte. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. And you're going to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. It's Tagovailoa from his own end zone. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. From their own 2, Charles, they opted to throw it instead of run it. We saw the outcome.
I think what a lot of teams count on is defenses to stack the line of scrimmage, trying to force a safety or force a turnover there. But if you've got a good defensive front, you just allow them to play the run and everyone else stays ready, and they were, and they picked that one off.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That play over before it got anywhere thanks to Christian Wilkins. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 40 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
To throw, Mayfield. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
This is up and good from Pinheiro, and that will extend their lead even further. So they got the turnover started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions. Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Up the middle they go with Mostert. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They've not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as he'll come up on 3rd down. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Dante Jackson picks it. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown. Well, if there was any thought that this thing might turn around for this offense in the second half, I think those thoughts pretty well dashed after that interception return there.
It just has not been a good outing for this unit whatsoever. There's no other way to say it. They've been overmatched, haven't performed to the level that they've needed, and that throw there just going to contribute to this game getting out of hand.
Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And the lead is now 24. And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. But we'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Pinheiro now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But they trim that lead down to just 2 scores. That's still a benefit to this squad.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
That puts him in excellent position, 1st and goal after a gain of 19. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sets his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
Again, they run with Edmonds. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short game. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
The quick slant caught. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
Completed pass, brings up a 4th down situation. Do you play analytics on this one? Well, you know, what do your analytics tell you about going for it here? I wonder what they would would say.
They tell me you're down by this margin fourth quarter, you're going.
Set, ready.
They'll try it now with Mostert. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Raheem Mostert, a touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Dolphins are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter.
Ready up. 52 blaster.
The two are going to try and throw for it toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of two-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number as empirical.
The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
On second down, McCaffrey. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Now, that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge fourth quarter stop? A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
One of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive that play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Didn't get to the sticks, but that's an ideal carry there on first down, isn't it?
I mean, now you're 2nd and 1. Although, you know, in the NFL, even if you picked up the first down, I don't think it's a big difference because the clock doesn't stop.
Yeah, not like college.
Right. If it's college football, you want to 2nd and 1 is probably better than picking up the first down because in college football, the clock stops with every first down. It actually aids the defense in that situation. Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. 3rd down, here's McCaffrey. 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down, 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So this one is over. A victory for Carolina. And I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done. Really well done. So I would say game balls for every starter and every key player who participated in this game.
Now, see, I only like one game ball. You're handing out multiple, although I set you up by saying game balls.